Interesting stories about the fairy tale Snow White. Snow White is a fairy tale written by the German authors, the Grimm Brothers. It tells the story of a beautiful princess who is poisoned by her stepmother, the queen, but is revived by a prince and lives happily ever after. But Snow White is not a fictional character, she actually existed in the 16th century. In 1994, German historian Eckhard Sander claimed that the real-life protagonist of Snow White was a girl named Margarete von Waldeck who lived in 16th century Germany. Margarete, the daughter of Count Philip IV, who was born in Waldeck-Wildungen, Hessen, Germany in 1533. With skin as white as snow, hair as black as coal black, and lips as red as a cherry's, Margarete was said to be the most beautiful girl in Germany. But there was one person who saw Margarete as a thorn in her side, her stepmother. When Margarete was 4 years old, her biological mother died of an illness, and her father took a new wife. Margarete's stepmother, who was only 10 years older than Margarete, was so jealous of Margarete's beautiful appearance that she decided to murder her. While her father is away, Margarete realizes that her stepmother is trying to murder her. She flees from her stepmother, and Margarete is helped by children who worked in a copper mine. At the time, the mines employed small children who were subjected to extreme labor from a young age, malnourished, stunted, and called dwarfs because of their dwarfism. With the help of these children, Margarete is taken in for the night and then travels to Brussels, Belgium, where she is saved by a man she meets by chance. He was Philip II, Crown Prince of the Habsburgs, who fell in love with Margarete's beauty at first sight and decided to ask her to marry him. When Philip II's father, Charles V, heard the news, he was horrified. Royal marriages were often political affairs to settle territorial disputes or forge alliances between nations. It was unthinkable that Philip II, the future leader of the Habsburgs, would marry the daughter of a mere German count. His father, Charles V, who already had Mary V, Queen of England, as a possible daughter-in-law, had his maidservant poison the food Margarete was to eat. Margarete eventually died at the ripe old age of 21, and it is claimed that the fairy tale written by the Grimm brothers was based on this story. But there's another, more shocking claim, that Margarete, the real-life heroine of Snow White, was actually a mythical villain. According to Japanese author Misao Kiryu, she stole her father's love after her mother died. Then one day, a beautiful stepmother appears next to her. Margarete was jealous of her stepmother's appearance and thought she had stolen her father's love. Margarete eventually gives her stepmother a poisoned apple, and after eating it, Margarete's stepmother dies, but Margarete is later discovered to have murdered her stepmother and is kicked out of the house. Margarete travels to Brussels, Belgium, where she meets Philip II, the Crown Prince of the Habsburg royal family, whom she intentionally approaches in order to seduce him and become Queen of the Habsburgs. She lies to him to gain his sympathy and succeeds in winning his heart, but is ultimately murdered by Philip II's father, King Charles V, who does not like her. Author Misao Kiryu has argued that the original story of Snow White was meant to be a lesson in cause and effect, with good things happening to good people and bad things happening to bad people. However, parents who read Snow White at the time complained to the Grimm brothers that the story was too cruel, so the Grimm brothers changed Snow White to a good, innocent girl and her stepmother to an evil queen, and the stepmother poisoned Snow White. In fact, the Grimm brothers revised the fairy tale Snow White 6 times, and Misao Kiryu's shocking claim that Margaret, the model for Snow White, was an evil woman. However, most experts have dismissed the artist's interpretation as just one of many interpretations of Snow White. Snow White has long been a favorite fairy tale for children around the world. But despite the myriad theories about Snow White's background, the story remains a beautiful tale that has endeared her to many. Meanwhile, Disney's upcoming live-action film Snow White has been plagued by controversy over the skin color of the lead actress. When Disney decided not to hold a UK premiere of Snow White, attention turned to the reasons behind the decision. According to local media outlets such as the Daily Mail, Disney ultimately canceled the official event scheduled for this month in light of the negative publicity surrounding the film, and instead scaled back its publicity schedule to a small press conference, with minimal questions from reporters about the lead actress. Some outlets have also suggested that Snow White has become a liability for Disney, or even a source of ridicule. The $270 million production is a reimagining of the animated classic Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and stars Latina actress Rachel Zegler as Snow White. Fans of the original story have taken issue with Zegler's skin color, saying it doesn't match the character, who is known for her snow white skin. How did you like today's story? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.